Okay, so this is how I completely got rid of my methane hydrogen levels, regardless of it being in the small intestine or the large intestine. Okay, so I was looking through old medical journals for a while, and then I spent about 12 hours one day. Finally, I found these two strains that can reverse methane hydrogen levels and get rid of them completely. The first one I saw a lot of people get on the Reddit forum, but some of them were getting the wrong strain. The right strain is called Reuteri DSM 17938, and it has to be the DSM 17938, and it can't be any of the other ones. This one can lower Methanobrevibacter smithii or the archaea methane in trials. So make sure to check the labels that you get the right DSM. Alright, so you can see here it completely got rid of M. smithii in 11 out of 20 participants and lowered it in 20 out of 20. So completely got rid of 11 out of 20 and lowered it in 100% of everyone in the trial. And I tried it on myself, so that would be 21 out of 21, or 12 out of 21, because it completely got rid of it for me and worked so well that I had to stop and bring my methane levels back. The product I used, which I'll talk about later, took me about a week or two to kick in for me. Then I would just take it whenever I felt the need to keep bloating regulated if in excess or was having discomfort. And on the opposite end, if you have like IBS-D, that would be Saccharomyces boulardii, which gets rid of fusobacterium sp or hydrogen. And I can post what I used for that later also. Okay, so I did the breath test for myself. I went out and got a breath test through a doctor, a lactose or lactulose one, and my first test was 8 ppm methane, so I did have some methane producing in the small intestines, but not a substantial amount to be concerned about, unless it's causing a lot of issues. And I was having some issues, but mostly in the evening. Keep in mind, if you do have SIBO and you lower both these and you still have problems, then it's probably not these two bacteria species causing it, and probably another oregano species dominating. There's 400 different species, probably 250 to 300 now because of the food that we're given in America, or if you eat junk food, it's probably not that many species. We probably killed a lot. Keep in mind, also, I was not doing a low FODMAP diet. I was doing the opposite, about 200 to 300 grams of carbs a day, all FODMAP foods. I was trying to gain weight, so I was doing excess carbs, and still no methane or hydrogen showed up on my stool test. If you do too much of these, you can completely get rid of both bacteria, like I did, so I would caution against that, since these are both needed to digest carbohydrates. These species are beneficial commensals, so they're working for you. And whether you have SIBO or LIBO, this should work. Just make sure to give enough time. Don't just take it once or twice. It probably takes like a week or two to lower the levels. If you want to become a client of mine, I'd have to check with your results every 3 months, but it'd be good to keep like a database and see who this works for and who doesn't, because the trial was only 20 people, so I want to see if it works for more. And also, it's not the end of the world if you completely get rid of both of them. You will feel less bloating and hopefully less diarrhea to compare to before. And also, depending if you have IBS-C or IBS-D, which SIBO accounts for 85% of IBS cases. So if you have IBS, I would try this also. Oh, and the environmental diet I know about, but I would never do that. I would never just eat powder for 2 weeks. It sounds terrible. I'm already not a fan of low FODMAP, since I think it's stupid after 4 days. 2 weeks at the most, but you'll probably get sick after 2 weeks because you're starving your beneficial commensal bacteria. So if you want to go over your stool test results or breath tests with me, you can message me on my Instagram at The Scientific Spiritual. I'll post a link in the bio at the bottom. I could do a quick 15-minute consultation. Yeah, try this and see if it helps with the bloating and diarrhea, depending. And if you still have issues, then contact me, because then that means it's not one of these two species. Oh yeah, okay. So for methane, I used the product BioGaia. It's the blue one. Make sure to read the label for DSM 17938, but don't do too much. I'm not affiliated with this company at all, but they did send me a bunch of samples, so if anyone wants some, I can send you those. So message me for that. And for the hydrogen, I probably used a pure NCAP or Thorn, but later switched to Now just because it's cheaper. I'm not a big fan of Now, but I just tried it anyways because it's a lot cheaper and it seemed to produce the same results. But I guess if you're starting out, you should use a better company like Pure or Thorn. All right, so that's it. So thanks for watching.